Hi guys, welcome. This is the ISO Pillar and it's almost the end of the month, so release time. And what we do then is make also two videos. One is how to update, how to stay rolling, and the other one is what's new. So we need to have a new template, clone it and tell them that's the old one. Now there are many ISOs, but I usually take the XL version. So we go to ArcoLinux ISO download, see what throws has been thrown at us, this one, that one, SourceForge, a lot of things that we can go for. This is the official page. You go to Zhost or what is this again? SourceForge, right? Yeah, the sign of SourceForge. But there's also Git, Belnet and other sources as well. Anyway, so you just go and have a look. This is SourceForge XL 505. So we go to the latest, which is September. Now, SourceForge has this little button. Many of you may not know it, but if you have problems downloading, look at it. The ISO can be downloaded from Germany, from Hungary, from Sweden, Bulgaria, Azerbaijan, and so on, right? So it's been copy pasted over 23 minutes, and this is what you say, oh my god, this takes just too long. So whatever this one was, in my case, Sweden often is super fast, Altus host. So I'll take that one and see if time increases. Well, decreases actually, so the speed increases. 2 minutes left, 1 minute left. Okay, you're out, cancel. And that's how you do these things, right? In 1 minute's time, that's what normally I pay for. It depends, of course, on your internet connection. If you don't pay enough for an internet connection, it will never go any faster. So 2.3 gigs, 1 minute is normal for me. Then let's go and have a look at some settings. Let's move you up here. As you see, I have a lot of things. So this is the old one. The old one, what are the settings in my virtual machine? Okay, advanced bidirectional description, fine system settings. I have enabled UEFI. So it's a sandbox, it's not the real thing, but it will kind of emulate the UEFI motherboards. And there was an issue these latest weeks or month maybe already about grub. So this is the one where you can find out if everything is working with grub. That's the UEFI. The other ones were not affected. This is BIOS and this is UEFI. We give a fair amount of megabytes. Processor, we have 4 of 16 that we give them. And we enable this to see INC, so we have some information about the motherboard and all that. Screen goes up and so on. VBox SVGA, never VM SVGA. This one, that one, never this one. Okay. And then storage, and I use also the shared folder. So I have this folder I've made, VBox shared, and give it full access so I can go between machine and real machine. So the virtual machine and the real machine. Those are my settings today, currently. In the meantime, it's going to be downloaded. So choose a disk file. Eric is in the downloads. ArcoLinux XL. There he is. Yep, that's the one. So we load it up. We tell him to boot from it. And there we go. We see this grub thing, which is the start from the ISO itself. So you decide whether you want to have open source, or you need a NVIDIA driver, or you first start with something very safe, and it's the resolution, the sizes will be too small, like I don't know, 800 and 600. But then you figure out what driver you need. In this case, VirtualBox open source. The no mode set is something you could Google or DuckDuckGo. Interesting to learn about it. only if you have issues with drivers, right? With graphical drivers and black screens and all that, no mode set. So we go quickly through the installation, pause the video, and then we update the system. Now, showing you how to stay rolling, I need to do the easy installation because the advanced installation updates everything on the fly. So stay rolling is for me the easy installation. Next. This used to be an issue, not an issue anymore. All good. Next. Belgian. Next. Erase, no swap, fine. Next. And next. And install. And then we pause the video. So I'll be back when we see reboot, and then we keep rolling. And there we are. So let's restart the machine. So we're basically traveling back in time. We're not at the situation beginning of September. Let's see at the grub version later on. Back then there were no issues. Maybe you've missed all of it. Great if you did. But there were some issues with grub. Vivaldi stable is not installed because this is, well, a new Excel, right? We have lots of things, but Vivaldi is gone, Chromium is gone, one browser, our way to communicate with you guys, chit chat and the serious bits, and then just one browser. So YouTube, ArcoLinux, grub playlists. Let's see what it provides. Right. Fix. Here he is. Right. Fix 08-2022. This is a playlist giving you the knowledge of what happened to your machine, to your operating system, grub. All right. Stay rolling means that we're now on 5.19.2. I'm reading the kernel numbers here. And when you update like this comes in and it wants to replace kind of some renaming from the ArcoLinux guys. So always know where it comes from. This is us. Let's tell this in the video again because I had to write it again on Telegram. ArcoLinux equals ArcoLinux plus spices. So I see these questions. Can we do this on ArcoLinux? If it's possible on Arch, it's possible on ArcoLinux, right? Because 90% of our packages are Arch stuff. These are Arch stuff things. And these are our configurations of i3, of Alacrity, and so on and so on. But these are more the spices, the soul, the look, the design, the settings, right? All right, so this guy comes from Arch. So just say enter or yes. So enter is capital Y means if you enter, it's gonna be a yes. And then there's always this thing, right? It's not that long ago since we've made the ISO, but there might be new keyrings. The ArcoLinux keyring. Is it necessary in this video to install it prior to updating? We'll see, right? You just see. It will show you when it can't install a package. It will just tell you, nope, this key of this guy is not working for me. And then you know, sudo pacman -s ArcoLinux keyring. Oh, look at that. Cheese 1 yen. Thank you very much. Yes, you say. And no, it says. So sudo pacman -s a y eventually to update, to get the update in, but not necessary if you just did the update there. ArcoLinux keyring. Get it in. Let's hope that this guy is in there. And we do jump from July, well, beginning August, right? The end of July to the end of September. So a 2 months jump. So in these 2 months, new guys came along, old guys stopped working, and so on. So all these keys need to be checked, replaced, and all that. And as long as you know this thing, you're not blocked or you're not halted in your updates. ArcoLinux keyring. This is okay. This, my guys, is my decision, my choice to not see the XFCE backgrounds. I, well, don't want to say the hate word, but it gets bored, right? So I remove them and we don't see them. And this is the way we do things with our bash RC. So that's all good. And for the rest, you just take a look, right? So, okay, there's a new locale there, upgrading. So I am not doing this with this thing, right? Which is great tool, super tool, fun to have and all that. We update with this thing and we read. And here is the message. Well, after 4 versions, then there was this message that you would break grub if you update it. And this is number 4, update number 4. Let's see later on, or maybe at the top. If it is still number 4, I think so, but to know, here he is to be sure. So this is what we mean by number 4, release 322-4 at the end. So yes, it's still number 4. But this now, particularly this was the issue. And afterwards we need to do this, which is our update grub. And this is alias. We have an alias called update grub, which does exactly this line. But this was necessary as well. And that's what we've made. We've added something, install, and it's still not there. But install, let's take a look at the other screen here. What alias we've called it. I think install EFI, but let me check, grub EFI. So later on, when you update and you reboot, this thing will be there. And that's basically the line. That's this line. And it only applies to the guys with UEFI, right? Not the bias guys. UEFI. Okay. And then the mirror list, new mirror list, fine, GNU, fine, okay. Just follow along. There's a new ArcoLinux 3 tool. Okay, fine. And then we have something ArcoLinux bin inside etc skel. So nobody sees it, nobody has it until you copy paste it to your own home eric.bin. We have that. Control H, there is a bin folder. What we don't do is write in your home folder. You decide if you want to have the new code that's in etc skel in your home folder. This is, by the way, for all the guys with tiling window managers and who break it, the backup place. Config, bspwm, i3, openbox, you name it, it's all here. The correct config is there. So it's a kind of backup as well. But do have a look at the word skel. ArcoLinux.com websites is the best one. Search skel and see what articles pop up and read, because it's an important aspect of this operating system. And then straight from Manjaro, so Pamac is built from their package build and their GitHubs. Okay, these things are because of decisions of the builders. The package builder can say, I'm gonna make this and this and this permission for a certain folder, and he can change it again later on, decide to do something else, and then of course things differ and Pacman notices it and shows it. There's nothing to do. On a clean install, all the permissions will be okay again. Alright, it's not that big an issue. And now we're gonna be watchful, right? Here is our Pacman hook. So the grub install, the one we talked about, and the thing we have included in the playlist here, is here. It's already fixed. There's nothing to do for the end user. Grub will work because of a Pacman hook. That's maybe for later years, but you can read it and Arch, Wiki, Pacman, and then hook and see what is provided. And of course, our videos. And then we're doing the update grub. So everything should be good. We have two things. The things that they set up here, they set something there. Those are the two things we should do. We've done them automatically. And here's another update grub because of packages that have been installed, like a kernel, stuff like that, NVIDIA. And that's it. That's all there is to say. So an ArcoLinux keyring thing, which is of course the standard routine by now, hopefully. So let's see if the grub reboots, because that's the main thing, of course, always. Do I still have an operating system to boot into? Yes, grub is now fixed. It was a bit strange that this hit all the users. They should have seen that, I think, but okay. One more thing, right? Good. So I've made already an image of it. Just say install it again. That's it. So the decision of the package builder is I'm gonna jump from that kind of numbering scheme to this kind of numbering scheme. And Pacman says, I don't know what to do with it, right? So we have to help him and say, okay, look, this is the new version. This is the new way of numbering the package. And we follow it, simple as that. Package builder, not me, somebody made the decision to jump from this way of showing things, which is basically the GitHub number. So if you push something to GitHub, it gets a number, so 545, and probably the builder, the guy up here who makes the hardcode fixer, has his own numbering, and he decided not to follow the GitHub numbering, but then this numbering, right? It's okay, voila, that's it. More, there's nothing more. So just this happens all the time, and just install it again, and you won't see it anymore. So Paul, we're fine. Yeah. There's this thing. You can decide to uninstall or install, keep it installed. I mean, take a look. This is why PAMAC is interesting, right? Because yeah, what is this thing? So IPv, and this one, Intel Centrino drives firmware. Do we have one? Right? Do we have one? I don't know. So they decided in the Arch ISO not to include it anymore. Is it included in the kernel? I should check, I don't know. But they decided to get rid of it from the Arch ISO perspective. That's the application that's building the ISOs. So on an ArcoLinux ISO from arcolinux.org, this won't be on there anymore in the next 1st of October. It will not be on the ISO. Question is, of course, and do you need it always? So it's up to you to see and to test. We keep these packages on our repo for a while. So sudo pacman -s ipw, or I've put them on the ISO repo. Anyway, I have them, right? And if in need, I can put them back online, and you can have them as well. So you decide if you need it. IPW 2100 FW, and the other one is IPW. This one, go off your system. Now I want to check something before I do anything. There is this var cache Pacman packages, and then IPW. Let's see if it's in here. So it's not in here. Good to know. Otherwise, if it would be in here, if you would have a package in here called IPW 2100 and 2200, right? Let's assume that's this one. You just Control-C it and put it safe somewhere. Control-V it. And if you even need, right, you can reinstall this thing. Well, assuming it's IPW and so on, sudo pacman -u. and then IPW, and you install it again. Tap, tap, and it auto-completes. So that's the thing you can always do if you're not sure. I don't know. Well, you should know something about your machine, and the best way to do that is probe. I think it's still one of the best ways to actually get to know into well, the nitty-gritty, as they say in English, the details of your machine, and it will tell you so much information about your machine. This is a virtual box machine, and it knows, right? VBox video up here. This is a probe of VM. Lifetime is limited, but it shows you that what system you're on, and it also show if you need this Intel Centrino thingy. Okay, you can see is another thing you can use. Was it -B? Has been a while since I've used it. Small b, big B. Voila, some information is there, but I think the probe one really is complete. Voila, that's it. I think you can remove these two guys, and then you reboot and you log it back in again, or you go check, do you have still internet, right? Because this is a Centrino thing, it's an internet thing. Normally we would do something like this. I don't think I will make one. Well, I make one, but there is going to be no information in here. So I'll make a folder going from 09 to 010. I think we're missing one, and that's Scal, right? Take a look at Scal, see what it is, Scal, before you type it in. Let's see what happens. Yes, read everything. Voila. Now we have a folder extra. So I'm gonna make a new one from September to October, basically saying the same, nothing to do. But if there is something to do, you can run a script, right? In this case, this is an ArcoLinux keyring thing, which is normal stuff. But here, for instance, we have some things to do, like, what is it? Install a Linux firmware, QLogic, stuff like that. And we can make it easy for you. Say if you want to stay rolling, it's here. And we run a script, remove this and add that. This is up to you. Decide whether you want to keep these two guys. You need it, you don't need it. So we're not going to make something automatically out of it. No script. All right, we're rolling, we're having fun. And if you want to learn more, you know where we go for our knowledge. Sometimes I have the feeling that you still don't know, so let's conclude it in the video that there is a lot of websites, the information about Linux in general, topics, lots of topics you can have a look at. Guys who have black screens and all that, go to your NVIDIA. Often it's an NVIDIA thing. There is even a playlist on YouTube calling black screen, right? And black screens can happen because of many things, and many things have been covered, but not all, right? So there can still be other reasons for it. ArcoLinux D is all about desktops. Go and have a look at every single desktop, the D for desktop, right? But also learning more and more. Check out the learning path. That's why we say these phases, 4, 5, 6, what's all this, right? And then 8 and so on. So have a look. And if you want to build an ISO, that's the B, build the ISO. And if you really want to be an ISO builder, then this one is for you. And we show you everything with Carly, we show you everything in the LCI and a riser, and with all this knowledge together, you'll be an expert ISO builder in no time. Okay, so that's this. Let me check and show you in this video again that I hear people are really looking in a wrong way in things. So what's all this? Blah blah blah, accept all and some rubbish. So we go to the channel, and where do you look for the channel for stuff? Here. Never use a search here, just use on the 4,000 videos that we have in here. And things that I explained like 4 or 5 years ago prior to ArcoLinux, right? i3, for example, still applies because it's still i3, still valid. So here is where you say black screen, for example, and see what happens if I type black screen. Kernel mainline NVIDIA package will never work. Black screen when you boot up, remove this, remove that, etc. So all kind of tips. What could be the reason of a black screen? So this is a search, not that one. Let me iterate it. Have fun using ArcoLinux. Cheers.